I know it gets hard when you feel like you're always the one who has to be strong, the one who holds everything together, the one who smiles so others don't worry. But even the strong ones need someone sometimes. You deserve to be checked on. You deserve to be asked, how are you really doing? You deserve rest. You deserve peace. Being strong all the time doesn't mean you never struggle. It means you keep going despite the struggle. It means you keep showing up, even with shaky hands and a tired heart. You ever feel like you're living on autopilot? Waking up, going through the motions, pretending like everything's fine, when inside you feel numb. That kind of emptiness can be scarier than sadness, because at least with sadness, you feel something. But even that numbness, that disconnected feeling, it won't last forever. You're not broken. You're just worn out. You need time. Time to breathe. Time to heal. Time to feel like yourself again. And that's okay. There's no deadline for feeling better. No one tells you this enough, but I will. You don't need to earn your worth. You don't have to prove yourself to deserve love. You are enough, even on the days you don't feel like it. There's nothing wrong with needing help. There's nothing weak about admitting you're struggling. In fact, being honest about your pain is one of the bravest things you can do. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself cry if you need to. Tears don't make you weak. They make you human. And after the tears, I hope you still choose to keep going, because you've got more inside you than you know. More courage, more strength, more light. Some people won't understand your pain. They'll tell you to get over it, or be grateful, or just move on. But healing doesn't follow a schedule. You can be grateful and still hurt. You can forgive and still feel the sting. You can move forward and still carry the ache. Don't let anyone rush your healing. This is your journey, and only you know what it feels like. And when it feels like no one understands you, I hope you remember that your story still matters. Your feelings are still valid. Your voice still deserves to be heard. Sometimes you don't need someone to fix everything. You just need someone to say, yeah, that's hard. I get it. So let me be that person for you today. Yeah, it's hard, and I get it. But I also know that hard things don't last forever. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are not the worst thing that ever happened to you. You are someone who is learning. You are someone who is growing. You are someone who is still here, and that matters. Stop talking to yourself like you're a failure. You're not. You're trying. You're doing your best, and that's more than enough. One day, you'll look back and realize this season of your life taught you things you couldn't have learned any other way. It taught you who's really there for you. It taught you how strong you are. It taught you that you can survive even when it feels like the world is crumbling. You're not weak for having a bad day. You're not broken because you feel lost. You're just human. And being human means you'll fall sometimes. But it also means you can get back up. And you will. The future might feel uncertain, but uncertainty isn't the enemy. It's the doorway to possibilities you haven't imagined yet. So take it slow. You don't need to figure everything out today. You don't need a 10-year plan. Sometimes, all you need is the courage to get through today. And you've got that courage in you, even if it doesn't feel like it. So breathe. You're doing okay. You're allowed to be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. That's what makes people connect with you. Not the polished version of your life, but the honest parts. The raw, unfiltered truth of what it's like to be human. And in those honest parts, that's where the healing begins. that's where the hope starts growing again. That's where you begin to see light, even in the darkest places. So keep going, even if it's slow, even if it's messy, even if you don't have it all figured out. You're not falling apart, you're rebuilding, piece by piece, day by day. And that's something to be proud of. That says something about you. It says you're resilient, even if you don't feel like it. It says you've got a strength inside you that you probably underestimate every single day. You might not see it when you're in the middle of the storm, but one day you will. One day, you'll look back and realize that all those nights you wanted to give up, you kept going anyway. And that matters. Maybe right now, you're not where you want to be. Maybe things feel slow or heavy or stuck. But progress isn't always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's invisible. Sometimes it's just you getting out of bed when it would be easier to stay under the covers. That's progress too. Stop waiting for the right time to start living your life. There's no perfect moment. Life will never line up perfectly. If you keep waiting for everything to feel safe and certain, you'll wait forever. Start where you are with what you have, even if it's small, even if it's just one step forward. Your story doesn't have to look like anyone else's. It's not supposed to. The things you've been through, the lessons you've learned, the people you've met, they've shaped you in ways no one else can fully understand. And that's what makes your journey yours. You're not in competition with anyone. You're not behind. You're not late. You're exactly where you need to be to learn what you need to know for the next part of your life. Don't be afraid to let go of what's no longer meant for you. Not every person, dream, or plan is supposed to stay forever. Sometimes the hardest part of growth is outgrowing things you once prayed for. But if it's holding you back, it's not meant for the person you're becoming. I know it's hard to let go. It's scary. It feels like stepping into the unknown. But the unknown isn't empty. It's full of possibilities you haven't met yet. Think about all the things you have now that you once thought you'd never find. At one point, you didn't know they were coming. But they did. And more will. You're allowed to change your mind about what you want. You're allowed to walk away from things that no longer feel right. You're allowed to start over as many times as you need. Starting over doesn't mean you failed. It means you were brave enough to try again. I hope you remember that your pace is your pace. Some flowers bloom in spring, some in summer, some in autumn, and some take years before they open at all. That doesn't make any of them less beautiful. You don't need to have it all together to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. You don't need to be fixed before you're allowed to live your life. You are enough right now, exactly as you are. And yes, you can want to grow and still love yourself along the way. Self-love isn't about never wanting to improve. It's about knowing you're valuable before the improvement happens. Be gentle with yourself. You're carrying more than you let on. You're balancing more than most people see. And you're doing it while still trying to be a good person in a world that sometimes makes that hard. That alone is something to be proud of. The truth is, there will always be challenges. There will always be days when you feel like you're falling behind. Days when you question yourself. Days when you want to give up. But there will also be days when you laugh so hard you forget what you were stressed about. Days when something you've been waiting for finally happens. Days when you realize you're living a moment you once prayed for. Those days will come again. So if you're in a hard season right now, keep going. Not because everything will magically be perfect tomorrow, but because life still has so much left for you to see, feel, and experience. Don't rob yourself of those moments because today feels heavy. I want you to remember this. You are not weak for needing time. You are not a failure because you're still figuring things out. You are not hopeless because you have bad days. You are human. And being human means you are allowed to feel it all. The joy, the pain, the fear, the hope. And still keep moving forward. One day, maybe sooner than you think, you'll realize you've made it somewhere better. Not because life became easier, but because you became stronger. And on that day, you'll be glad you didn't give up now. So keep going, even if your steps are small, even if no one else sees it, even if it feels like nothing is changing. Something is changing. You're changing. You're growing in ways you can't see yet. And one day, you'll look in the mirror and see someone you're proud of. Someone who survived the things they thought would break them. Someone who didn't let the darkness win. That someone is you, and you're already becoming them.